first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about my background. There's a Chortle sign over here, there's a shocking radiator, there's some sort of giant hockey puck over there. I don't know what that's doing. But enough about that. I recently had my 3-year anniversary with my girlfriend. You know, I was expecting a big old woo, but clearly none of you give a shit about my 3-year anniversary. That's fine, neither did I. But I was thinking about something, we actually sleep for a third of our lives, which means that I've been asleep for a year of our relationship. What a year. It was great, but you know, it's amazing that we lasted 3 years just because, you know, when we first started going out, it was a little bit awkward and strange just because she was such an old friend of mine. You know, she was 82 at the time. And she was strange, but she came to me on our anniversary and said, "Lewis, I want to talk." I said, "Okay, yeah, sure, you know, fine. But do you mind going in the other room just because I'm watching TV here?" And no, I have to warn you, last year on our anniversary she came to me and she asked me whether or not I masturbate. And I made the mistake of telling the truth. And she was crying her eyes out, bawling, hysteria. You know, this is how much my girlfriend hates to see me in pleasure. So this year I was a little bit anxious. I didn't know what she might ask me. And she comes to me and she says, "Will you come to DFS with me because you can get 0% interest on all sofas?" And I thought, I don't need to go to DFS. I already have 0% interest on all sofas. But I went because relationships are about compromise. You know, I will do things for her and she does things for me. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. Quite the opposite, in fact. One of the things I am very stern on in the relationship is I do not believe in sex before marriage. I just think it would make me tired and groggy for the ceremony. So I don't need it. But, you know, girlfriends, they have weird, strange things. Like when I'm in a room full of people, my girlfriend has to know the name of everybody in that room. When I'm on the phone to her, she has to know the name of everybody. But there's always that one person in the room who you don't know his name. And she's like, "Who are you in the room with?" And just a couple of people. "No, but who? I want names. Tell me their names." Just Matt and Johnny and a couple of the guys. "No, don't say a couple of the guys. I want their names. Tell me all their names." And you think, okay, you think, well, okay, I can just get up subtly. I can leave the room. No big deal. No one will know. But you can't, because by this point, everybody in the room somehow knows that you're on that conversation. And they've stopped what they're doing, they've gone dead silent, they're staring at you with this look in their eye like, "Come on, name me." Alright, okay, and you start, and you point. I don't know why you point, because that's just going to make it more obvious, but you start Johnny, Matt, Nick, and Sam. Who was before Sam? And it's so embarrassing, and everyone in the room knows you don't, and it's just the most embarrassing thing, and I don't get easily embarrassed. I mean, the only other thing that used to embarrass me was, I used to feel very self-conscious about the way I ran across the street, but then I noticed that everybody runs across the street in the same weird way, and it's like there's certain rules about running across the street that you have to abide to. For instance, rule number 1, when running across the street, you may not bend your knees. Rule number 2, when running across the street, you must stare directly at the drivers whilst giving a strained facial expression. Rule number 3, when running across the street, you must tightly cling on to all hats, bags, or any other clothing accessories you may have. But we don't just have strange physical things as human beings, we have strange sayings as well. Like, "Believe you me." Like, that's actually really me telling myself to believe you. I'm saying, "Believe you." Me? Or, you know, "No offence." People only ever say "no offence" after they've just offended you. So my flatmate the other day said, "Dude, you're such a dick. No offence." I was like, "What do you mean, no offence? How can you mean dick in the non-offensive way?" I was like, "Thank God. For a second I thought you were offending me when you called me a dick." Or, for instance, the other day at university, I bumped into this guy, and he says, "Boy, who do you think you are, pretty boy?" And I said, "Pretty boy? Well, thanks. or for instance, when we randomly, say things in other languages, like carpe diem, or c'est la vie, or déjà vu. What do they say in France if they have déjà vu? I can't imagine they go, Jean-Pierre, je le sais quand. I swear I've seen that before. I've got this red light flashing, so I think I'll come to the end, but I just want to say one last thing, and it's a bit of a serious thing. I know I'm doing a comedy thing, but I just want to mention it anyway. I don't know if you've seen these RSPCA adverts, and it's with the dogs, and then it's like, oh, my name's Charlie, and my owner left me out on the street all my time. They really upset me, and it gets me. I just think, what kind of owner would throw out a talking dog? The guy could have been a millionaire. But what's worse, the worst thing about these adverts is that they ask for £4 a month to sponsor a dog. Also ask for £2 a month to sponsor an African child. So you can pay £4 a month and save a dog, or you can pay half the price and save a human life. Why, Diana? So I thought I'd compromise. I pay £3 a month and I sponsor an African dog. Anyway, I'm done. So if you enjoyed yourselves, thank you very much. If you didn't, fuck you. No offense.